Oregon Trail and Oregon Territory by Carol, Liz, Jake, and Cameron. In 1804, Lewis and Clark were explorers sent by Thomas Jefferson to explore the Oregon coast. They found that Oregon had very fertile lands and thick forests. The weather was always sunny, which made it perfect for farming. But in 1819, Oregon was already claimed by Russia, Spain, and Great Britain. The U.S. wanted in. When the U.S. purchased Florida, Spain gave up the fight for Oregon. A couple of years later, Russia backed out. They just wanted the territory that lay north. Today, that line marks the southern border of Alaska. That left Great Britain and the U.S. to duke it out. Both countries decided that they wanted to solve this dispute over land in a peaceful way. In 1844, Campaign Polk created slogans such as All of Oregon or None and 5440 or Fight. Polk won the election partly because of the promises he made. President Polk was determined to annex all of Oregon country. However, he did not want to go to war with Great Britain. He agreed to compromise a treaty that divided Oregon in half. Today, that line divides the western border between Canada and the U.S. He did not annex all of Oregon, but he did remain from going to war.
In 1824, a fur trapper named Jedediah Smith discovered a shortcut called the South Pass. The South Pass was key for people moving west. It created a passageway so that settlers could travel west without having to go over the Rocky Mountains. The Oregon Trail is connected to the South Pass, which started in the City of Independence. It continued through the Louisiana Territory and into Oregon country. The South Pass turned into the Oregon Trail, went around the Rocky Mountains, and ended up in the city of Portland. People had Oregon fever. The very first American settlers to move west were missionaries. They were trying to convince the American Indians to join their religion, but many people started to move west because there were just so many things that the West had to offer. But they faced many difficulties getting there. The journey was about 2,000 miles across many different terrains. There were many trail hazards settlers faced. Disease was common, accidents also took many people's lives, and Indian attacks were rare, but they did occur. Mountain men, also called trappers, died young but lived hard. They were a part of the fur trade and faced many hazards. There were fur thieves, Indians, wolves, bears, and accidents occurred often. Mountain men explored a lot of the West while looking for animal furs. The trappers' trading posts became supply stations for settlers traveling among those trails. Without mountain men, many settlers may not have made it into Oregon.
Pioneer women were also very important to the expansion in the West. They were expected to do the same work they did at home, even though they were in covered wagons while traveling 15 to 20 miles a day. The women cooked, washed clothes, and took care of the kids. Pioneer women were active in the movement to have the right to vote. Women were voting in West unlike the rest of the country, and this equality helped women throughout the U.S. have more equal treatment.
President Polk was a strong believer of manifest destiny, and without him pushing the U.S. towards expansion, we probably wouldn't have that part of the West. It was the U.S. manifest destiny that decided to annex part of Oregon country. Having the Oregon Trail helped the U.S. to become one of the most powerful countries in the world because more land equaled more power. Just picture life today without Oregon or the Oregon Trail. It is a part of the United States that will last forever. The Oregon Trail and Oregon country was one of the hit spots in early American settlement areas. Our country and its people itself grew stronger and bigger.
Woohoo!
Oregon country was pretty amazing.